Hey, welcome back to the Upswing Report. It's Austin here, and if you want your life to suck, just do the following things. So the first thing that you can do is to focus only on the negative. You know, when you're looking at a glass, if it's halfway filled, is it gonna be filled or is it gonna be halfway empty? And that's how you decide. What are you gonna live your life like? I personally don't want my life to suck, so I've trained myself when people are around me that are negative, like everything they say is always bad. Oh, I'm being a realist. Don't say that I'm being negative. No, here's the facts. They're a realist in the way that they're looking at their life through a real lens, but that real lens is negative. You can totally choose how you want to view the situation, any situation. Now, one way that I found when I'm starting to be looking at things in a negative light, or I'm veering more towards that way, is, and this is almost like a superpower. Try it out. You've probably heard about it, but if you've never tried it, just try it. I've always just tried to think when I'm feeling, I wake up, maybe I have a knot in my stomach, I'm under stress, to think about the things that I'm grateful for. And you can be grateful about anything. It could be friends, it could be family, it could be a roof over your head, it could be the fact that you live in a first or third world country, whatever it is. You have your health, you have a business, you have a job, etc., etc. Anything that you have, you can be grateful for. And almost like magic, it'll melt away the stress and the negativity that you have in your mind. Go ahead and try it if you haven't already. You can say it aloud in your head, or you can say it, quietly to yourself, but just focus on the positive, and being grateful is almost a superpower in order to combat negativity and start to look at things in a positive manner. I actually made a video recently that I'll link up here that was a selfie rant on this whole kind of concept of looking at things in a very confident, almost cocky way. So I'll link it up right here and you can go check that out after this video. All right, the second thing that you can do if you want your life to suck is to not take ownership. For any problems, for any issues, for anything that's not perfect, you can point your finger at people or situations or your upbringing or whatever environment you're in, and you can blame it on that and never take ownership. Now, if you want to combat this and you don't want your life to suck in this area, you need to start to take ownership and really own up to all the cards that you were dealt. Sure, there's people out there that are better looking than you. They're more talented than you. They have been raised in a family that has had more opportunity than you. You might be a minority and you have less opportunities. Whatever that might be, you need to decide, am I gonna own up to this and focus on myself? It's me versus me, and start to take ownership of what I can do in this given situation. Or you can keep your hands out like this and play the blame game and never take ownership. Now, if you really want to dive into this, I'm gonna link a book below by a Navy SEAL called Extreme Ownership. His name is Jocko Willink, and it's just an amazing book. It details how he started his leadership journey and has trained other people in the armed forces as well as in the business realm to really take extreme ownership and be the best version of themselves. All right, the third thing that you can do if you want your life to suck is to not understand yourself. When you're looking through and you're going about your life, there are probably a lot of gaping issues or gaping lies that you believe about yourself. You've put limitations on yourself, but you have no idea. It's almost like, does a fish know that it's in water? No, it doesn't. It doesn't know it's wet. It's because it's always known that. That's what its reality is. This is similar to the last point about taking extreme ownership. In this way, you're kind of taking ownership of your internal body and your internal mind and your internal heart, and really deciding, what lies do I believe about myself? Because once you know yourself and you realize this is a limiting belief I have about myself, or a way that I'm looking at myself and it's a lie, or the way I view other people, if you can own that up, then those lies will start to dissipate. There's a quote that goes, what we fear, we attract, but what we look at disappears. So if you decide, it's an unknown thing, it's unknown, and you fear the unknown, I'm just gonna leave it that way. And that thing will fester and fester and fester, and it'll come out in your different relationships, or self-abuse, or things that you are not gonna be the fully optimal person that you're supposed to be. But if you take time and dig deep in yourself, and you realize, okay, this is something that I totally have a lie about myself, and you start to look at that lie and stare at it in the face, eventually that thing will disappear. What we look at disappears. Because once you start to take those lies and you start to knock them down that you've believed about yourself for as long as you can remember, you can start to invest in yourself easier. You can start to believe in yourself much better. And the most important thing is you can start to love yourself. And if you really truly understand who you are, you'll realize that you are a God-like masterpiece. Sure, we're not perfect, but we're literally God-like. So once you start to know yourself, you'll realize that. But if you want your life to suck, just forget about knowing yourself. Whenever you have an emotional issue, just bury it deep down and also use vices to just numb the pain. All right, the fourth and final thing that you definitely should do if you want your life to absolutely suck is to not take the first step towards your dreams. That all being said, if you're interested in making the most out of your life and having an amazing life, start today. One framework that I love using whenever I go after my goals or dreams and set out to figure out what is the next step is from a book called The One Thing. I'll link to the book in the description below, but to summarize what the book is all about, it's a framework that you use to basically decipher what is the next high priority item in order for me to achieve my goals. So how it works is, what is the one thing that I can do now that is gonna make everything else either easier or unnecessary? Now let me say it one more time because it is so important. What is the one thing that I can do today that will make all other things either easier or unnecessary? This will help you sort through your to-do list to figure out what are the high priority items that really will move the needle forward in whatever you're doing. Because remember, being productive and being busy are absolutely not the same thing. And once you start making solid moves towards your dreams and goals, not only will you have a new energy about your whole life, but you will be building something that is gonna make the world absolutely a better place, not only for yourself, but for friends, for family, for the rest of society. So you owe it to everybody. Go ahead and do whatever it is that you feel like you were meant to do on this earth. You're gonna make the world a much better place. All right, that is it for today's video. Make sure if you want your life to suck, follow those 4 steps that I laid out in this video. If you don't want your life to suck, well, just do the opposite. If you have any questions on business, fashion, or lifestyle tips that you'd want my opinion on, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at The Upswing Report and DM me your question. Keep it brief, about a paragraph max, and I'll pick the best ones and make videos about them. All right, Upswing Nation, that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.